Next up on Left, Right and Centre, the brazen daylight killing of a man who witnessed a high-profile murder results in action from the state government. A house of one of the men, Zafar Ahmed, thought to have been involved in the daylight attack, is bulldozed and destroyed. And now bulldozer action is expected at the homes of other alleged members of the gang. By all means, bring down the mafia, but is there any legal basis, or for that matter, any sense in razing the homes of those accused in a crime? Is this the way that law enforcement should work? And do these attacks primarily target one community in Uttar Pradesh?
A bulldozer rerun in Uttar Pradesh, where this house of jailed gangster Atiq Ahmed's close aide was razed in Prayagraj, just days after Ahmed, who is in a Gujarat jail, allegedly orchestrated the sensational murder of a key witness to a 2005 political killing of a BSP MLA, the gangster's rival. Atiq's wife and sons, also accused in the murder, lived in this house. The police say Zafar Ahmed, the man whose house was razed, has 6 criminal cases against him and gave shelter to the shooters after last week's incident. The police claim these weapons were recovered from the house.
श्री ज़फ़र अहमद खान को बिना नोटिस दिए एडीए इस मकान को गलत तरीके से अवैध तरीके से ध्वस्त कर रहा है। श्री ज़फ़र अहमद खान को कोई नोटिस नहीं दी गई ध्वस्तीकरण की, उनको पता भी नहीं चला, उनको न्यूज़ के जरिए से पता चल रहा है कि उनका मकान गिराया जा रहा है।
Yogi Adityanath's bulldozer policy has often been criticized as a means of selective targeting.
वो समाजवादी पार्टी के द्वारा पोषित माफिया है।
But hours after the Prayagraj shootout, the UP Chief Minister had lashed out at the Samajwadi Party in the State Assembly over the Prayagraj incident.
लेकिन ये सच है कि आप ओडीओपी तो नहीं दे पाए, लेकिन वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन माफिया जरूर दे दिए थे। कहीं संगठित अपराध में लिप्त माफिया थे, कहीं खनन माफिया थे, कहीं पशु माफिया थे, कहीं वन माफिया थे, कहीं भू माफिया थे, और ये आम उत्तर प्रदेश वासी जानता है इस बात को।
The Prayagraj administration claims proper procedure was followed before the action by bulldozers. With Nitin Gupta in Prayagraj, Alok Pandey, NDTV.
All right, so the latest incident where bulldozers are used as a form of justice. Joining us to look at this, Subrat Pathak, Lok Sabha MP of the BJP, Ghanshyam Tiwari of the Samajwadi Party, Sharad Pradhan, Vikram Singh, the former Director General of Police of Uttar Pradesh, and Colin Gonzalez, senior lawyer of the Supreme Court. Subrat ji, ये बुलडोजर राज फिलहाल चलेगा, मतलब ये कानूनी, ये गैर कानूनी नहीं है?
नहीं, देखो आप गैर कानूनी क्या है, गैर कानूनी ये नहीं है कि जो उन लोगों ने किया है,
जरूर है,
मैंने उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार के ऊपर
मर्डर इज मर्डर, नो डाउट।
ये उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार पर हमला नहीं है, ये हमला दी देखो तो देश की व्यवस्था के ऊपर हमला है। तो अब जो हमारी व्यवस्था पर हमला करेगा, कानून को एक साथ में खिलवाड़ करेगा, और वो भी पूर्ववर्ती सरकारों के संरक्षण पाकर, तो कुल मिलाकर उनके कारण से उनका जन्म हुआ है। और आज वो इस प्रकार की हरकत करेंगे, किसी एक बूढ़ी माँ के बेटे को मार देंगे, एक पत्नी के पति को मार देंगे, बच्चों के बाप को मार देंगे, तो क्या ये दर्द नहीं होगा? अब जिसको दर्द नहीं होता होगा, नहीं होता होगा, लेकिन हमें लगता है कि योगी जी को दर्द होता है, और उत्तर प्रदेश में अब ऐसे लोगों के लिए कोई स्थान नहीं है।
Okay. Colin Gonzalez, how do you reply to that logic? An eye for an eye, essentially.
Well, when I look at the video clippings of what is happening and the justification given, that somebody has murdered somebody, therefore I can demolish his house without notice, without a court order, I can't make out a difference between the criminal who committed the murder and the high officials who justify what they do. It is totally illegal to break a person's home because he is allegedly committed a crime somewhere else. It is totally unlawful to do it without notice. It is completely illegal that you do it without a court order. I think the UP officials right from the top are as criminally minded as the people whom they allege to be criminals, and are engaged openly and defiantly in criminal actions of breaking people's homes again and again, even though it has been condemned universally that you can't break a person's house because of some allegation against him. So this is a sarkar that believes in engaging in crime, justifying the engagement in crime, doing the criminal actions of bulldozing openly and defiantly, and believing that the rule of law does not apply to the state of UP.
सुब्रत जी आप इस पे क्या कहेंगे कि मतलब ये कानून के किस तहत ये बुलडोजर चला सकते हैं आप?
नहीं देखो आप फिर वही बात, जब अब ये माफिया, ये गुंडे, ये अपराधी, ये जो सरकारों के कारण से ही जो पनपे हैं, भाई आज ऐसे ही कोई अतीक बन जाता है क्या? ऐसे ही कोई मुख्तार बन जाता है बगैर संरक्षण के किसी के? और वो भी जब सरकारों का संरक्षण इनके ऊपर रहा, खासकर समाजवादी पार्टी का, जिसके कारण से इतने बड़े इतने विशाल हो गए कि इनके ऊपर कभी पुलिस इनके साथ चला करती थी, ये अतीक बन गए, मुख्तार बन गए, विधायक बन गए, सांसद बन गए, अरबों खरबों की संपत्ति इन्होंने बना ली, और उसके बाद में इनका ये जो रसूख था, उस रसूख का इस्तेमाल करके आतंक के ताने वाने के ऊपर एक ये साम्राज्य जो इन्होंने स्थापित किया है, इसको आखिर कैसे तोड़ा जाएगा? और कानून से तो डरते ही कहाँ है, कानून के आगे इनका डर ही कहाँ है? आपने तो देखा होगा, एक मुकदमा लिख गया कोई बात नहीं, 10 लिख गए कोई बात नहीं, 50 लिख गए कोई बात नहीं, 100 लिख गए कोई बात नहीं। ये चुने हुए निर्वाचित विधायक को दौड़ा दौड़ा कर सड़क के ऊपर मार देंगे केवल इसलिए कि वो इनके भाई के खिलाफ चुनाव लड़ गया। और तो और ये सरकार के ऊपर हमला कर देंगे, व्यवस्था के ऊपर हमला कर देंगे, इन्हें कोई संकोच नहीं है। तो ये कुल मिलाकर ऐसे लोग जो कानून की भाषा को समझते ही नहीं है, कानून को कुछ अपने पैर की जूती समझते हैं, ऐसे लोगों को समझाने के लिए कानून के दायरे को बढ़ाना होगा। और मुझे लगता है कि उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार जो कुछ भी कर रही है वो कानून के दायरे में कर रही है।
विक्रम सिंह, इज दिस लीगल?
This is absolutely legal. Let me, nobody live in an illusion. Every instrument in the arsenal of the government will have to be used against those who kill 2 constables, lob bombs, and kill a lawyer in broad daylight. Now, I'll tell you how. Somebody constructs a house in the forest land, government land, PWD land, or in the police land. He is given due notice that, yes, you have constructed land. He has exhausted all channels of appeal. There's a court order in respect of demolition. Then the bulldozer, though not a part of criminal jurisprudence. Again, I repeat, it's not a part of criminal jurisprudence. Yet, when a parent department requests the police and the station to help them in the demolition, the bulldozer is used for that purpose, and it is perfectly legal. And anybody who feels so strongly about it, there are people who have every reason, and of course, for them going to a court is like child's play. They can at liberty to go, but nobody goes to the court. The criticism is something like a loose talk. So I would rather that if you feel so strongly about the use of the bulldozer, please take pains to go to the court, get a stay order and admonition for the people who use the bulldozer.
सुब्रत जी, इसमें एक और एंगल है जो बॉटम लाइन है इस बारे में कि एक समुदाय के लोगों को टारगेट किया जाता है बुलडोजर से। इसमें कई उदाहरण हैं, मध्य प्रदेश में भी हो चुका है, कश्मीर में भी हो चुका है, गुजरात में भी हो चुका है। So the argument is that this is being done to terrorize minorities.
देखो इसमें हम क्या करें कि एक ही उसके कम्युनिटी के लोग अधिक आतंकवादी निकल रहे हैं, एक ही कम्युनिटी के लोग अधिक ये अपराधी या माफिया निकल रहे हैं, तो इसमें तो हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते। लेकिन हमने इसमें कभी भेदभाव नहीं किया है। आप बताइए, कोई स्टैटिस्टिक है? आप बताइए, आप पहले मेरी बात पूरा होने दीजिए।
आप प्लीज इसमें कोई डेटा दीजिए, आप कोई स्टैटिस्टिक दीजिए, नहीं तो ये कैसे
आप प्लीज मेरी बात को पूरा होने दीजिए। आप बताइए विकास दुबे क्या थे? विकास दुबे क्रिश्चियन थे क्या? विकास दुबे का धर्म क्या था? तो कुल मिलाकर क्या उनको देखा गया क्या? दूसरे ही दिन जब उन्होंने व्यवस्था के ऊपर हमला किया विकास दुबे ने, तो दूसरे दिन सबसे पहले उसका घर गिराया गया और उसके बाद में वो क्या हुआ मुझे कहने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। तो कुल मिलाकर ये अपराधी जो है ये जिस भाषा में समझते हैं इनको वही भाषा समझ में आती है। आप बताइए, इन्होंने जाकर किसी के बेटे को मार दिया, ये कभी सोच सकते हैं क्या? अपने से जोड़कर देखो, वो जो मर गया तो मैं सांसद बनने से पहले मैं आम नागरिक हूं, सांसद बनने से पहले मैं किसी पत्नी का पति हूं, एक मां का मैं बेटा हूं, मैं बच्चों का बाप भी हूं। आप बताइए, कभी मेरे ऊपर भी इस प्रकार की स्थिति हो गई तो मेरे बच्चों के साथ में क्या स्थिति घटेगी? क्या मेरी पत्नी की हालत होगी? क्या मेरी माता की हालत होगी? मेरे परिवारीजनों की स्थिति क्या होगी? उसकी ओर कोई ध्यान नहीं देता है। और आज इस प्रकार की बात करने लगे हैं कि मैंने कम्युनिटी क्यों ले आई है। अगर वो कम्युनिटी है तो फिर ये कौन है? ये उमेश पाल कौन है? उमेश पाल कौन है? ये क्या इसकी कोई कम्युनिटी नहीं है क्या? वो अति पिछड़ा है, वो पिछड़े समाज से आता है, तो क्या उसको जो मर्जी होगी वो उसको रगड़ देगा, उसको मार देगा? और वो भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार में। इन्हीं गरीब शोषित वंचितों ने भाजपा की सरकार बनवाई है, इन कमजोरों ने मिलकर भाजपा की सरकार बनवाई है, इसीलिए कि उनकी रक्षा की जाए।
Subrat ji, 1 second. Sharad Pradhan, reply to that. That you say that you are targeting one community, but what about the community of the people who've been murdered?
Well, you know, the problem in Uttar Pradesh is that we are in this state, unfortunately, a very feudal lot. We have traditionally believed in feudal ways, in eye for eye and tooth for tooth. So, you know, common people also take pride in whenever such a thing happens, and that's the reason Yogi's unlawful acts, I mean the government's unlawful act, in the sense that setting aside the rule of law, they adopting such methods, are lapped up by the people, and they clap. They're very happy that this has been done. But when this starting, you know, there is no doubt about the fact that it has been selective. Vikas Dubey is the only such case where it's a non-Muslim. Otherwise, you know, there are so many. I'm happy that criminals are dealt with. Even I felt that it's damn good. But when this starts happening with innocent people, like it happened in Kanpur Deyat, where a young girl and a mother were burnt alive, and then the bulldozer were run over their hutment, then people have started thinking that, look here, this can happen with anybody. Because when you start becoming law unto yourselves, and there are officials who like to make brownie points. Even, Mr. Vikram Singh has had a change of heart, so now his views are different from what they were until a year back, for whatever reason. So that's different. He's also justifying it. As far as law is concerned, I'm sure Mr. Colin Gonsalves is a senior advocate of the Supreme Court. He jolly well knows better than all of us what the law of the land is. But if you start defying that law, and there's a criminal justice system, it is very lethargic. There is no doubt about it.
All right.
And that's the reason people sometimes feel that, okay, this kind of a practice is okay.
Vikram Singh, are you changing your opinion?
It's a tribal justice.
Do you believe?
Certainly not. I do not change my opinion. I am very consistent. Although it may be the consistent, may be the virtue of an ass. But my good friend Sharad Pradhan ji, I have no compulsion to favor any political outfit. I am over age even to participate in politics. Now, there may be other perceptions, but let me tell you, for your knowledge, Sundar Bhati, Amit Kasana, Sushil Mooch, and a dozen more investors in UP who do not belong to that particular community. And I, for one, I'm proud of my secular credentials.
Those days were different.
And I don't need to be
different.
And again, what about these Hindu names that I'm giving you? Their houses have been demolished, these mafia. I'm sure you would have been aware. Sundar Bhati, Amit Kasana, Sushil Mooch, and others. Rest assured, Mr. Gonsalves is a very esteemed advocate, and you, a senior journalist from Lucknow, you would not take a couple of minutes to go to the High Court and get a stay order if you felt so strongly about it. But the fact of the matter is, you yourselves are not convinced that you have any merit in your argument. If you had any arguments, Mr. Colin Gonsalves and I have been at cross purposes on many occasions for the last several decades. But when there is merit in what you say, only then you would go to take place to go to the
let me understand what you're saying. Dr. Singh, one sec. Sharath, half a second. Dr. Singh, what you're basically trying to say is that this is not a tool which is used to target Muslims. It's also been used to target people of the Hindu faith, other faiths, whichever faith. Is that what your point is?
The faith is not relevant. Somebody like you coming at something, it is only person when you break the law and order, challenge the might of
no, but faith, the argument has always been, sir, that faith is relevant. I've got a list of examples on how Muslim people have been targeted over here. Now, I'm not going to read that out. It's about 3 or 4 cases. But are you trying to suggest that the bulldozer has been used against the homes of Hindus as well? Is that your point?
Yes, uniform application. This is what I said.
Uniformed application, all right.
Sundar Bhati, Amit Kasana, Sushil Mooch, and dozens of others. But the fact of the matter is that nobody comes out with these names. And uniform application of law. Don't you think that I would be intellectually dishonest to say that?
But sir, as a Director General of Police, shouldn't you condemn? I take your point about uniform application. But as a former Director General of Police, and among the finest that we've had in our country, shouldn't you be the first person saying that this is insane to be doing this, breaking people's houses?
now to a very honest and sincere question, a very honest answer. Let me tell you, I am a Gandhian, but extremely vindictive when it comes to challenging the authority of the state in this manner, to throw bombs at the police, kill 2 of my men, and kill a person in cold blood. I would have taken every recourse in my arsenal to give them a befitting reply. And
then why do you have a court?
You would have broken the law.
Why should you have courts in Uttar Pradesh?
No.
Let the police take the call, let the government.
Mr. Pradhan, this is within the ambit of law. This is what I'm saying. This is within the ambit of law.
No, how is it within the ambit of law if there is no notice which is given?
Under which article of the Constitution or which section of the criminal law is this permissible?
You're barking up the wrong tree. The complainant is a government authority, Prayag Development Authority. They told the administration this is an illegal construction. Please demolish it. The police demolished it.
So that is used at an appropriate time.
Appropriate time. First come, first serve. You challenge the authority of the state.
But Mr. Gonzalez, this is exactly the got it. Dr. Singh, half a second. Mr. Gonzalez, this is exactly the point. He's right when he says that there are there are arguments which are raised that say that urban laws have been broken, but it is under the pretext of violations of municipal and urban planning laws that these take place. It doesn't happen immediately. You are targeted when there is a protest or something happens in your area, and that is used as an example to hit your house. It's not.
Well, the UP government has a long history of targeting Muslims. If you look at the data on fake encounters or shooting at Muslims in the knees or in the ankles to permanently disable them, hundreds of such Muslim boys have been disabled or killed. So you have a mafia which kills people, which is rightly condemned, and you have a Sarkari mafia which breaks the law with impunity as well. There's very little difference between the Sarkari mafia with high connections and high positions and having the police supporting their mafia activities, as you saw the DGP doing. So there's just another mafia. What's ruling UP is not a Sarkar or a real administration. It's just a blood-churling mafia that breaks the law with impunity and is brazen about it and says, yes, I break the law, but I enjoy breaking the law. And I enjoy killing people. And I enjoy breaking homes of people without court orders, without notice, without hearing. They're so proud of their mafia activities. I think the Sarkari mafia is the biggest threat to national unity, national democracy, and national security. These are anti-national Sarkari people breaking the law and proudly saying, can you imagine a DGP saying, let's break the law. Go ahead. I believe in it. And I will do it. And I'll organize my men to do it. What kind of mafia rules the state of UP? It's unbelievable. It's a mafia akin to fascism. It's like Hitler.
One moment. Let me just quickly go across to Ghanshyam Tiwari, who's been waiting patiently. Ghanshyam, sorry, I was having some audio problems with you. I couldn't come to you earlier. But the point which has been raised is by Yogi Adityanath today is that he is going to destroy the mafia in Uttar Pradesh. He's going to bring them to the ground, and he's going to do it any which way he can. Does that statement justify this sort of action?
Good evening, Vishnu, to you, my fellow co-panelists and the viewers. 147, 148, 153, 295, 297. These are not cricket scores. These are the kind of cases Mr. Adityanath had against himself. 307. There are learned people, they will know the meaning. And if you look at Keshav Prasad Maurya, the score is even higher, and it would include 302 ministers coming from Uttar Pradesh in the current cabinet. In fact, if the Indian score in cricket today is 109, BJP beats it by far. They have 111 MLAs who have criminal charges in the current assembly, and more than 100 they have the infamy of sending more than 100 members of parliament in just the current Lok Sabha. So if the question is that Mr. Gonzalez is asking what kind of mafia is running Uttar Pradesh, this is the mafia that is running Uttar Pradesh. And when they say that hum criminals ko mitti mein mila denge, they are saying that they will use tamasha to deflect the hollowness of their claim that UP is crime-free. The bizarre, sensational murders in Prayagraj in broad daylight exposed the hollow claim of BJP. As a result, they are indulging in tamasha. And when you give police such free hand, Mr. Vikram Singh can, with the same arguments, can defend what this kind of mafia did to Dikshit Parivar. Not a single minister went and apologized. A month back, in brazen cold, in biting cold, the son was asked to go naked by the police. Then the mother and the daughter were bulldozed and burnt to the ground. Their house bulldozed, and the government did not flinch an eye. As far as the custodial deaths in Uttar Pradesh, 952, highest in the country. You look at Uttar Pradesh, there are 130,000 people incarcerated in jails, under trials, detainees as well as convicted people. At this rate, the government has a free hand to pick and choose whose house they want to demolish, and before giving the notice, after giving the notice, who they want to encounter. There's a superintendent of police at large from Mahoba because he conspired with policemen to kill a businessman. The Gorakhpur killing was conspiracy for money. There are enough stories every month that you will find that the police system is conspiring to extort money because now they have the power, and the Chief Minister could stand irrespective of his own past that has more charges than Subrat Pathak will have mark sheets with him. The Deputy Chief Minister has more charges than Subrat Pathak will have mark sheets with him.
Right.
And can stand up and say हम criminals को मिट्टी में मिला देंगे. Criminals को मिट्टी में मिलाएंगे तो आप खुद मिट्टी में मिल जाएंगे, क्योंकि एक बड़ी तादाद criminals की आपके साथ खड़ी है, वो आपके साथ संसद भी जा रही है, विधानसभा भी जा रही है, और आपके साथ समूची.
Okay, I would have gotten a response from Subrat ji, but I'm out of time on this program. But clearly this running a bulldozer is against every principle of the law. It just doesn't work that way. Anybody can argue and say that it's okay. It's not okay by the rule book. That's the bottom line. But then again, do rules actually apply? We leave it at that. From all of us here on the Left, Right and Centre team, good night.